I'm 80 years old, and yes, I still cook my own meals, clean my own house, and go for my daily walk every morning, rain or shine. And no, this isn't because I got lucky. It's not because I have perfect genes. It's not because I've been spared the aches, the losses, or the wear of time. The truth is far simpler, but harder to accept. I'm still moving because I never stopped moving. I'm still standing because I chose not to collapse when life got heavy. And I'm still alive, fully, vibrantly alive, because I refuse to let old age be an excuse to stop living. You see, people often look at me and say, "You must have been blessed with great health." As if I woke up every day with strength handed to me on a silver platter. But what they don't see are the days I had to force myself out of bed with stiff joints. The mornings I cried while lacing my walking shoes because my back ached and my heart felt heavy from loss. The nights I stood at the sink, washing dishes alone, and had to fight off the voice that whispered, "Why are you still trying? Who are you doing this for?" That voice comes for all of us. And every time it did, I whispered back, "For me." Because I'm not here to impress anyone. I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here because I love life too much to surrender it to a rocking chair and a television set. This isn't a story about luck. It's a story about choice. And if you're listening to this, if you're wondering whether it's too late for you, let me tell you something that may just change everything. You don't need to feel strong to start moving. You don't need perfect motivation. You just need to refuse the lie that it's already too late. Because it's not. Not today. Not yet. There's a lie we've been told, quietly, repeatedly, over years and decades, until it started to feel like truth. The lie is this: as you get older, you must become weaker, slower, more fragile, more dependent. We hear it everywhere, in commercials that treat old age like a disease, in the well-meaning voices of children who say, "Don't do that, Mom, you might fall," in the hushed tones of doctors who talk more about managing decline than building strength. And slowly, we start to believe them. We trade movement for stillness, curiosity for caution. We stop lifting things, not because we can't, but because we've been told we shouldn't. We stop reaching for the top shelf. We stop kneeling to tend the garden. We stop taking the stairs, not because we're incapable, but because somewhere along the line we were told we were too old for effort. But here's what no one tells you. The body learns helplessness, and it also learns resilience. Every time you choose not to move, your muscles listen. They shrink, your balance shifts, your confidence fades, and every time you do move, your body listens too. It gets stronger, it learns again, it remembers how to hold you steady if you keep giving it the chance. The greatest danger of old age is not falling. It's falling into the belief that decline is inevitable. Yes, your body changes. Yes, there are limits, but limits are not the end. They are the beginning of learning how to live differently, more intentionally, more wisely, more in tune with what matters. I've met people in their 50s who feel like they're already done, and I've seen others in their 90s walking upright, laughing out loud, gardening, dancing, not because they're untouched by age, but because they never handed over their spirit to it. The truth is, you are not old because of your age. You are old the moment you stop challenging yourself to grow. So if you've been telling yourself, "This is just how it is now," please, pause. Ask yourself, is that your body talking? Or is that a belief someone else planted in you years ago? Because maybe, just maybe, you're not done. You're just beginning to wake up again. I don't go to the gym. I don't lift weights or run marathons. I don't have a personal trainer. But every day I move. I move because movement is life. And the day I stop moving, truly moving, will be the day I start fading. When you think of exercise, maybe you picture sweat and soreness, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about reaching to the top shelf instead of asking someone else to. I'm talking about sweeping the floor with both hands, feeling your shoulders stretch. I'm talking about taking the stairs, even if it's just once a day, so your knees remember what they're made for. I'm 80, and you know what my workout is? I cook, I clean, I carry groceries. I water the garden. I wipe down windows. I walk to the mailbox. I stretch before bed. And every time I move, I send a signal to my body. You're still needed. Stay ready. And it does. Not because I'm invincible, but because I show up every day on purpose. Movement doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be consistent. When you stop using your legs, they stop trusting you. When you stop raising your arms, they stop reaching. When you stop challenging your balance, you start to lose it. The trick is not waiting for motivation. It's building habits so small they become part of you, like brushing your teeth, like breathing. Some mornings my joints protest, my back feels tight, and my brain tells me you've earned the right to rest today. But I don't rest from movement, I rest through it. Even on hard days, I stretch my arms, I roll my ankles, I bend gently to pick something up, not because I have to, but because I still can. And every time I do, I send my body a message it desperately needs to hear. You're not done yet. You still belong in this world, fully upright, fully engaged. You are still alive, and we act like it. So move however you can. Even if it's slow, even if it's awkward, even if it hurts a little, because the alternative, stillness, silence, shrinking, that's not rest, that's surrender. And I didn't come this far to surrender now. People often ask me, what do you eat to stay so healthy at your age? And I smile, because they expect a secret, some magic fruit, some miracle diet. But the truth is simple. I eat to feel strong, not to look young. I eat to stay steady on my feet, not to impress anyone at the dinner table. And most importantly, I listen to my body more than I listen to trends. At 80, I don't count calories. I count how I feel after a meal. I don't chase superfoods. I chase balance, warm, nourishing meals that give me energy, not just fullness. I keep things simple. Rice, steamed vegetables, a bit of fish or eggs, fruits that are in season, herbs I grow in a few pots by the window, and water. Lots of water. Not soda, not sugary drinks. Just what the body was always designed to receive. I've learned this the hard way. When you're younger, you can get away with skipping meals, overindulging, staying up late. But as you age, your body becomes your mirror, and it reflects every choice you make. I've had days when I ate too much out of boredom or too little out of loneliness. I've had mornings where I reached for coffee instead of breakfast and paid the price by midday with fatigue and foggy thoughts. Now I treat food like medicine, not the kind you fear, but the kind you welcome. I prepare my meals slowly. I eat sitting down. I give thanks before I take the first bite. Not because I'm religious, but because I've lived long enough to know what a privilege it is to feed yourself with your own two hands. And no, I don't avoid sweets entirely. Life is short. Some days I'll have a small piece of cake or a spoon of ice cream, but I savor it. And I stop when I feel full, because that's enough. The key is not perfection. It's presence. It's paying attention. So if your body's been whispering lately, with bloating, fatigue, joint pain, or sugar crashes, don't ignore it. It's not just aging, it's your body asking, can you feed me with care again? And you can. You can start with the next meal, with the next bite, with the next choice. Because food at this stage isn't just fuel. It's how you say, I want to be here, I want to keep going, and I want to feel alive doing it. One of the most powerful choices I've made in my older years is to live with rhythm. Not just routine, not just habit, but a gentle, intentional rhythm that gives shape to my days and peace to my nights. I wake up at the same time every morning, not because I have somewhere to be, but because I want to greet the day with clarity, not confusion. I open the curtains, I make my bed, yes, every day. I drink a warm glass of water. Then I prepare my breakfast slowly, as if I had all the time in the world, because I do, and yet I don't want to waste it. These small rituals are not chores, they are anchors. They remind me, I am here. This day belongs to me. There is something sacred even in the ordinary. In the late morning, I move, walk, stretch, clean garden, whatever my body allows. But I never let the day pass without moving. It's my way of showing respect to the body that still carries me. In the afternoon, I rest. I read. I listen to music. I sit on the porch and let the wind speak for a while. I try not to rush anything, because I've learned that hurrying steals more than it saves. And in the evening I wind down early. Dinner is simple. Lights are softer. I turn off the noise, the news, the endless screens, and instead I return to stillness. Sometimes I write in a journal. Sometimes I light a candle. Sometimes I just sit, hand over heart, and whisper to myself, "You did well today." That rhythm is what keeps me from drifting. Because when you live alone, time can either feel like a gift or a burden. But when your days have shape, when your mornings begin with purpose and your nights end with peace, you stop feeling lost. You stop waiting. You start living. And no, it's not always perfect. There are restless nights, there are mornings when I move slower than I'd like, but I never abandon the rhythm, because it holds me steady when the world feels unsteady. So if your days have started to blur, if you find yourself wondering, what did I even do this week? Come back to rhythm. Start small. Wake up. Open the window. Breathe. Make your bed. Make your tea. Make your life on purpose. Even at 80, especially at 80, it matters more than ever. People often look at me and say, "You're lucky." Not everyone at 80 can still do what you do. And every time I pause, not because I'm flattered, but because I know how false that idea really is. What they call luck, I call choice. What they see as a gift was often a battle. And what they imagine came easily was earned one decision at a time when no one was watching. Was I lucky to avoid serious illness? Maybe. But I was also the one who showed up for every health checkup, who learned to read nutrition labels, who got up and walked on days when rest felt easier than resistance. Was I lucky to have strong legs? Perhaps. But I was also the one who never stopped using them, who climbed the stairs instead of taking the elevator, who swept the floor when others said, "Let someone else do that for you." Was I lucky to stay mentally sharp? Maybe, but I was also the one who never stopped reading, who asked questions, who journaled, reflected, listened, even when silence surrounded me. People want to believe it's luck, because if it's luck, they don't have to do the hard work. They don't have to question their habits. They don't have to face their fear of change. But here's the truth. The life you live at 80 is built from the choices you made at 70 and 60 and 50 and even yesterday. And the most powerful part? It's never too late to start making new choices. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to begin, today, by choosing differently. Choose to stretch for 5 minutes. Choose to cook something simple instead of ordering out. Choose to open the window and breathe instead of sitting in the dark. Choose to speak gently to yourself instead of repeating, "I'm too old for this." Those choices might feel small, insignificant even, but they add up, they compound, they build strength, they restore dignity. They light a quiet fire in your spirit that says, "I may be aging, but I am not fading." I didn't stay strong because I was lucky. I stayed strong because I refused to give up my power. And neither should you. You don't need to become someone else. You don't need to catch up to anyone. You just need to stop surrendering your life to the idea that it's out of your hands, because it's not. Your body may slow down, your memory may falter, but your will is still yours. And that, more than anything, is what will carry you forward. So here I am, 80 years old, still cooking, still cleaning, still walking, stretching, reaching, learning. Not because I'm fearless, not because I never get tired, not because I don't feel lonely sometimes, but because I made a decision years ago to stay awake in my life, to not let age make me invisible, to not let comfort turn into decline, to not let the world decide when I am done. You see, aging isn't what takes your power away. It's the belief that aging must take your power away. That belief? It's a thief. It robs you of action. It tells you to sit down when you still have steps left. It tells you to give up the little things, and those little things are exactly what hold you together. So let me ask you, what have you given up that you could gently pick up again? Maybe it's morning stretches. Maybe it's cooking your own meals again. Maybe it's simply putting your shoes on and stepping outside for 5 minutes of fresh air. It doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be yours. You're not too old to start. You're not too far gone to feel better. You're not beyond healing, growing, strengthening, and you're certainly not here to shrink in silence. So if this message spoke to your spirit, if it reminded you of something you've been missing, leave a comment below. Tell me, what's one thing, small or big, that you still do, not because you have to, but because it keeps you alive? And if you haven't done it in a while, do it today. Not for anyone else, for you. And if you'd like more stories, more strength, more quiet reminders that you're not alone on this path, subscribe to Golden Pathways. This is where we grow together. This is where we remember that aging isn't the end, it's the deepening. And it's not luck that keeps us going. It's love. Love for life, love for movement, love for who we are even now, especially now.